What is the best swing for a senior golfer? What you are being told, what you have to do to get long drives, to get consistent drives, is oftentimes very difficult on the body, difficult on the brain because you're thinking about too many things, and simply not feasible. But there are a few, think of them as tweaks, simple changes that will give you the speed and the consistency that you want with the driver, even when you're a senior golfer, that you can keep getting more distances, okay? And of course, it's not rocket science. This is the art of simple golf. Let's get into it. If you force the club, if you force your body and try and hit the ball harder, as you get older, those distances, in fact, get less and less. It's like the more effort you put in, the worse the results. So we want to have an effortless looking and feeling golf swing that gives you the effect of the speed that you want, that your body is capable of. This is going to help not just your drives, but every club in the bag. And we have tons of lessons that cover it, but it is a tenet of what we do here. And it's a tenet that you need to apply if you're a senior golfer or whether you're getting towards it and you want to keep playing this game for many years to come. So we don't have to force the shots. We don't have to try and like really muscle the ball to get those distances. We don't have to do it that way. We want to allow the body to have a bit more flow, a bit more turn, but give us the speed without actually trying. And when you get the kind of feel and the confidence that you want with it, you can actually just think, all right, I'm going to let this go a little bit more. Letting it go meaning just with confidence release towards the target. Release that way. Give it some extra oomph. So there's a couple of problems that many of you face when we get a bit further experienced in life. I know I do. One of them being tighter in the hips, sort of a sore back because I did so much damage to it, trying to swing the proper way, following the complicated mechanics. So I still have to be careful about not trying to contort my body too much. But there's a couple of tweaks that we can do. Number one, all we're going to do is allow our bodies to sort of get behind a little bit more. Because one of the problems that we have is, the arms sort of crashing into ourselves, just not enabling to give us that time and rhythm. Whether it's stiffness, whether it's arthritis, whether it's just not the technique to kind of get the core rotation or the wind up or whatever it might be. Let's just make it a little bit easier and free flowing. All we're going to do for the main aspect is we're going to turn the right foot out here, okay? Just by showing you, if I try and make a swing, I'm going to exaggerate it by turning the foot this way in. If I try and make a swing here, okay, that's, well, it's not quite as far as I can go, but that's when it starts to feel strain. If I turn my trail leg toe out, I can suddenly get a lot more sort of freedom. And it's not just about swinging longer, it's about having freedom and flow. So we can get to here and to here with very little alteration aside from that. So the second component to giving us a little bit more freedom to make a more complete backswing. Again, it's not the length, because I've even got a video where it doesn't matter if you've got a short one, like a short swing here, you can still accelerate through. But turning that foot out is just going to give you a bit more time and a bit more freedom for the arms to lift. And the other factor we're going to do is, as well as turning that right foot out, we are going to just pull the right foot back a bit. This worked wonders for Ben Hogan and tons of other golfers, right? Because what this again is going to do is to help the club just flow a little bit easier behind us. If I over exaggerate, if we're here, okay, I get a bit stuck. It's a lot easier to sort of swing over the top and stab at it. Again, if I exaggerate, if we're all the way back here, look how much easier it is to sort of allow the club to swing and gravity to help me here. And what's going to happen from that position is we're going to, once you've developed the setup, the foot and the trail leg, just pulling it back a little bit, allowing the hips to come back a little bit, you're going to automatically be in a good spot to get on to the second component of this. The second component is actually giving us more time to hit the ball, because we don't want to rush at it. We want to allow the speed and acceleration to happen with the correct sequence. If we're out of sequence, if we're kind of a bit too stiff, short, we get in our own way. So what we're going to do here is allow the shallowing to happen naturally, so we have the time to get the driver on a more shallow angle of attack and to swing through. That isn't so much about using the body, it's about using the weight of the club, the arms, and just that natural instinct, just like you would skipping a stone or anything like that. So with the right foot back, with the trail foot back, we are able to sort of get behind the ball just a little bit more. We can wind up, and now what we're going to feel is this dropping sensation. Basically feeling like the arms are just slowly hitting this slot. We are not spinning the shoulders over here. We are not trying to hit at the ball. We are just focusing on this sort of movement here. And this is something that I want you to practice out of your chair. Do you actually find that you rush at the shot, especially when you get to the top of the backswing? Does it feel like, oof, where did that go? Is that a panic? Especially with the driver. Do you find you get a bit, I don't want to say nervous, but anxious? And that's where the sort of spin and the hit at the ball comes. But then you don't exactly know what you need to do, like wait for it. What does that mean? Does this feel a bit familiar? If it does, this is perfect for you. Let me know below. So to show you from this angle, right? Again, I'm sort of overemphasizing some of these movements. We've got the foot, we've got the trail leg behind. We are allowing the club to sort of just fall behind us, okay? My back is feeling like it's to the target. I've wound up, but there's very little tension. I'm allowing the wrist to be soft. That's another key. But the move is just this, here. See that? All I'm doing is allowing the arms to just drop. But I'm not just dropping the arms. I'm not spinning the shoulder over. I'm just having everything come in sync. Just this nice, beautiful, sort of smooth movement. And that's how I'm rehearsing it and hitting wonderful shots that go 79 yards. But this is what I want you to do. Even without a club at first, if you need to, just feel this slight movement. So as we're transitioning down, with the hands coming towards the left thigh, the weight is moving towards the left, but the hands are just very slowly and smoothly, rather than slowly, making their way towards the ball. And that is phase two, because what happens from there is we just allow the club to release this way. See that? So it's step one, step two, step one, step two. Step two of that is from here, we're releasing the club up to a sort of higher finish and allowing the wrist to unhinge. And it's going to feel a bit more like maybe you've played tennis, where you're doing like a forehand topspin, like this, okay? So it's skipping a stone, but we're just allowing the arms to flow and swing up. And this is going to give you an effortless looking goal swing that ideally gives you, a bit more speed. And here's the thing, there's very little force required. We're just sort of allowing it to happen, and I want you to build up confidence with it. So we just go back and we just swing through, and you just brush it ever so slightly, and you're going to get a I think that was a bit of a misread there, but you're going to get the speeds that you want without the force. So let's just recap that again. Recap, turn the trail foot out, pull the right foot back, get your back to the target with soft wrists, okay? And then we're practicing this transition of the elbow coming down to the side with a nice smooth step. This is like a Harvey Penick move. And we're just accelerating and straightening the arms here, this way, to a high finish there. Allowing those wrists to uncock. And it's just a sort of brushing motion. There's no force or hit. It's very much just this action. And you're going to feel like you can do it all day long. It might feel at first that you're sort of swinging on the inside and swinging on the outside. I'm just overemphasizing that for you. But I promise you, one, it's going to give you more effortless sort of swings, which don't hurt the body, but it's going to give you the foundation to get better at just accelerating with a smooth tempo that you can keep doing for years to come and play around with it and even find 10 extra yards when you need it the most. So practice that. Start, and it might even help other clubs as well. But really with the driver, we're trying to get that shallow angle of attack and that release, okay? So there we have it. It's not difficult. Use those simple tweaks and feel that rhythm of the swing. I am going to link another lesson where we talk about the sort of move where I mentioned about Harvey Penick. But the steps of that are going to give you the foundation with that release to give you so much more speed as a senior golfer, okay? An effortless golf swing that works, that you can trust and rely on and doesn't hurt the body. So let me know if you got any questions and I will see you next time. But before you go, have you checked out the free series that we're giving away at the moment? It's really going to help every facet of your game because it's the principles to simple, enjoyable golf. Check it out below and I'll see you next time.